Let's speak with Dai Davies, former Met Police Superintendent. Good afternoon to you, Dai.
Hello, good afternoon, Ian.
Nice to have you with us, sir. So for those who are unaware of this case, just tell us a little more about what actually happened 54 years ago and why this case has suddenly come back of interest to the Met today.
Well, the 29th of December, as you say, 54 years ago, a mother of two children was coming home from the dentist when two brothers of Trinidadian origin decided in their wisdom that they would want to kidnap her. And as far as I know, it was one of the first ones of its kind, certainly in that period. And they abducted her and they took her to a farmhouse, which is currently being searched again. It was searched 2 years ago following information. And obviously on when the police found that this was the location where she had been held, it was allegedly thoroughly searched then, 40 days, when the police got the intelligence and information that that's where one of the brothers had lived, a chap called Arthur. As I say, they searched it. They didn't find it then. New information has come to account. It's the second time that one of the brothers, now he was deported back to Trinidad and Tobago. He's given information, having been released after 20 years in prison. He's given new information where she could be, and that's why the police, along with some experts, forensic search experts, are apparently there as we speak, searching yet again for the body of this poor, unfortunate woman.
So these guys were caught and charged with kidnap and murder, but no body was found. Is that, as I understand it, Dai, is that correct?
Yes, that's what I understand it. And again, as you said, I think it was the first time ever they were convicted without a body being found. And what's interesting, obviously, forensic science has moved on hugely. Yeah. So even now, I'm not sure what they would find. They would find some bones. They might find fragments of labels and others. But after such a length of time, one wonders what on earth they will find. But they should find, if she is there, and hopefully she is, because the family have suffered tremendously. Her husband died in 1983, not knowing what had happened to his wife.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know this from many, many years as a police officer. When we talk about victims, we obviously centre on, in this case, Muriel McKay. But of course, in any crimes of this nature in particular, victims come in many forms. There are family members, there are relatives that continue to suffer for many, many years. And in particular, in a case where it's been established that somebody has been murdered, but you can't find the body. I mean, that is an incredibly traumatic experience to live with, often forever, as her husband did in this case, without ever knowing.
Well, you're right. And her two children, Ian and Diana, now both in their 80s, I think, living in Australia, have come back. They actually visited Hussein, I think his name is, in Trinidad. How he was released after just 20 years just shows, really, he should have been there for life, in my opinion, particularly as he hadn't disclosed where the body was. The Metropolitan Police of Hertfordshire, one of them, have been out there to question him, and again, they believe this time he may well be telling the truth. He insists he is and wants to clear, as it were, some sort of conscience. Obviously, I don't know the full facts, but what is interesting now, search techniques have come on hugely since 55 years ago, along with forensic, and again telephone, because this went on for nearly 40 days before they were arrested. Various clues came to light, including some of the evidence in the house and also in this farmhouse. So they were able to convict it, and it must have been very good detective work, in fairness. But it was a very, very interesting case, and I just joined the police that time. Shows how old I'm getting. But seriously, it was an interesting case, and obviously there have been many others since then. But all credit to the then Metropolitan Police who investigated and brought these two to justice. One of them died in prison, I'm pleased to say, because that's the way I was hoping the other one would have died. But there you go.
Well, indeed, yes. You hope they spend the entirety of their life for these kind of horrendous crimes. Listen, Dai, thank you for speaking with us. We will watch with interest and see how this case develops. But it is of no, by definition of the fact that Muriel McKay's husband died in the 80s and never got to see any kind of conclusion to this. But there was no doubt of the murder-kidnap plot, but just no body has been found. But as Dai said, you know, if you haven't got to watch many of those kind of forensic type programs to see just how extraordinary this the advancement of forensic techniques are. I mean, it's utterly mind-blowing as to what can be done. Let's hope it reaches some kind of satisfactory conclusion, if that is the right way to phrase this.